On Thursday, June 25th, 2026. This is a special board meeting for the LCAP and budget adoption of your district trustee board. And I would like to call the meeting to order and have a roll call for attendance, please.
Member Garcia? Present. Member Munoz?
Present.
Board President Clifford.
Present. Thank you very much. We have a quorum. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Face the flag, put your right hand over your heart, and repeat after me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you kindly. May I have a motion to adopt our agenda?
Make a motion.
Is there a second? There's a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? All right, it passes unanimously. Item 1.5 is public comment. I have no speakers. It's 7:01. I will open public comment. I don't see anybody racing to the podium, so I will close public comment. Thank you very much, and move on to 1.6 for comments from the member of the Board of Education. I will start to my left. Trustee Garcia? Okay. Trustee Munoz?
No comments.
Thank you very much. The next item is item 2.1. It's a staff presentation on the California Dashboard Local Indicators 2025-2026. Dr. DeGrazia.
Thank you, Mr. President, Mr. Clifford, members of the board, distinguished guests. My pleasure to invite up Dr. Sarah Najarro to present the local indicators for the 25-26 school year.
Here I am again. Good evening. I will try to make this short and sweet for you, but it is a requirement that the evening that we adopt the LCAP and the budget, that we present to you the local indicators. So that is what I am doing. So the state and local indicators, the State Board of Education adopted the state and local indicators to measure the school districts and individual school sites' performance in regards to the state priorities. And so this is one of those requirements that we have to do. And everything, the state and local indicators are always reported on the dashboard, which we've talked about many times. So the local indicators are when state data is not available for some of the priorities that are identified in the LCAP statute. And for these priority areas, the State Board of Education approved the indicators, which we collect locally. And so these, what you see here are where some of the local indicators lie. So it's the basic conditions of learning, the implementation of the state standards, parent-family involvement, the school climate, and access to a broad case of study. 9 and 10 apply only to the county. So those are the areas that I will present on briefly tonight. Why are they important? Really because they evaluate our systems and support, help us identify areas of strength and growth, and we reflect on our process. And so what happens is we look at these with performance standards, and we measure our growth, and we present these tonight as a non-consent item, and then they are reported on the dashboard. What we do, actually it'll open up very soon. We upload these to what we call My CDE Connect, and then of course on the dashboard. And if you don't report them, then you can be in what we call differentiated system just for not reporting them. So that's why we want to make sure that we follow all of the statutes. So we wouldn't want to be in differentiated systems for just not doing. So the way we do this is a self-reflection tool, and when you follow the self-reflection tool, you can either get a met, a not met, or if you don't meet all of the requirements for 2 or more years, then you also get a not met. And the self-reflection tools, what we do is we review it, we look at student outcome data, survey results, feedback from different committees, and different metrics, and then we look at it. It's exploring as a 1, beginning as a 2, 3 is initial, 4 is a fully implemented, and then 5 is fully and sustainable. And it's very difficult to achieve a 5, which is fully and sustainable, because that would say there's no room for growth. And we really don't ever want to say that there's no room for growth, because we can always continue to grow in all of our areas. So we generally may have a 5 in one part of the area, but overall, that's difficult to attain. So once we do that in reporting priority number 1, this one, we actually don't use the self-reflection tool. There's 2 areas, basic services and conditions. This area, our overall rating was a met. There's a few ways that that's reported. It is the TAMO, which is the teacher assignment and monitoring outcome. We actually will come back in the fall, and that's in joint with personnel, and they will give the final reporting on that. And that is our assignments of our teachers. But for the local indicators that we have to report now, we give an estimate. We report what we had in 24-25, which was 1 misassignment. That was a teacher that didn't have her full EL credential and was teaching in a section. For 25-26, we anticipate 1 misassignment, where we had 1 section of PE where the teacher didn't have the appropriate credentials. They were actually teaching 2 sections, and they should have only been teaching 1. And now that person is getting their authorization in progress, so we've solved that for next year. Then it's also student access to all of their assigned materials and sufficient textbooks. We have no deficiencies there. We also, that's verified when we bring the sufficient textbooks to you in the fall. We did that in September 2025. We'll do that again September 2026. And that's also about our facilities. We did that through the SARCs this last year with the FIT tool, and we had all of our schools, 9 of 9, had a good rating. So that was priority area number 1, which we met. Priority number 2 is where we use that rating, the 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, where we look at professional development, our instructional materials, our policy and program support, our academic standards, and our engagement of school leadership. And overall, we have that as a met. We have some areas that are 3s and 4s, but most of our areas are full implementation. I'll give you a few examples of what we wrote about in professional development. We wrote about this year where we really focused on our science of reading training through our educator effectiveness academies, and focusing on our math framework to get ready for our math adoption. And this upcoming year, again, we'll be really working with our math adoption, universal design for learning, and there's a variety of AI committees at the high school for professional development. For priority area number 3, we also use the self-reflection tool, and we do that looking at parent and family engagement. We look at 3 different areas: engagement between school staff and families, partnerships for student outcomes, and input for decision making. And there we also had overall 3s and 4s, and some examples that we wrote about were our parent and education, our Glendora Gives, our focus on 2-way communication, and all of our different leadership councils. And our goals in 26-27 continued to be increasing communication with our multilingual families, using increased parent square throughout, so that our parents know we have one single platform for communication, and increased flexibility for participation, so there's different times parents can communicate. Priority number 6 is all about school climate. That is all met through our LCAP panorama surveys. We've talked a lot about those results before. We have our parent survey, we have our staff survey, and our student survey, and you can see up there all the different numbers that we had. We had 925 parents respond to that. Our teachers and staff, we had 449, and our students were 3,391 students. And we talked about that on Monday. Really low concerns about student safety. Real positive on school fit. Positive perception. Like I said, on school safety, and a real focus. We're going to be focusing on school belonging in our middle schools. So that was priority 6. And then priority 7 is access to a broad course of study. And we look at that in a few areas, different tools, their access, are there any barriers and any new actions? And so we look at that in areas of different school board presentations, our master schedule, grades, through our areas, through our assessments and reviews. And we found that we do have a broad course of study, that we monitor this. We, of course, have all of our expanded VAPA programs and our STEAM programs. We have our few barriers. We, of course, showed our decrease in chronic absenteeism and our increase in positive attendance. And for 26-27, we are going to continue to focus on expanding our CTE programs and our dual enrollment. And so we are, with our local indicators, committed to continuous improvement. The goal of the dashboard local indicators is not perfection, but ongoing improvement in our service to students. And we will then, once approved, I will upload those to my CDE Connect, and we will have them on the dashboard. So that is your local indicators.
Thank you very much for that presentation. I'll bring it back to the board to see if there's any questions. Board members?
I just have one question about, you mentioned something about school belonging in middle schools. That's part of the school safety?
That was based on the panorama surveys that we got. That was an area that we're focusing on based on the panorama surveys.
And what is that gonna look like?
What do we focus on? That's student engagement, making sure students feel engaged at their schools and that they feel that that's all about our character education and lessons that are engaging for them, and that's all part of our universal design for learning.
So they don't do character counts in middle school, do they?
No, we have Character Strong
Character
as
Strong.
Character Strong.
In middle school?
The counselors use that as their tier 2 intervention.
Okay, any further questions? All right, then I'll bring it back. There's 2 paragraphs for the discussion action tonight. I guess we're gonna vote to approve both of them with one vote, is that correct? No. We're gonna do them separately? Yeah. So there's actually 3.1 has an A and a B?
3.1 is just the approval of the LCAP, and then 3.2 is the budget.
All right, I don't have that. Mine doesn't say 3.2.
Yeah, the printout doesn't say.
No, that's why I'm asking. I was asking for I see 3.1, so the second paragraph is 3.2, which is a second reading of the budget that we had at the last meeting, correct?
I should have wrote it in on
Okay, so I just wanna make sure it was still a separate thing, all right?
I'm still,
Is the agenda that's printed out, have that on it or not, do you know? Okay, is that okay?
yeah,
Okay,
I mean, because it still
can
has
make a
both of the
motion.
items on there.
Motion by interlineation to add a 3.2 to that.
thank you. Can I have a second for that? All right, can we, any discussion on it? All those in favor?
Aye.
It's good to have a lawyer on the board. Thank you very much. All right, so the first item we just heard, we had a staff report, we had discussion of the trustees. All those in favor? Oh, I need a motion. Is there a motion for?
It's just a non-consent.
Non-consent? Okay.
We're talking about the indicators now?
I'm talking about the indicators now. They were under discussion items, so we're not gonna. Okay, got it.
Sorry.
I moved to 3.1.
Yeah.
We didn't I said 3.1, I could have sworn. We had the presentation, we had no questions. We're at 3.1. 3.1 is the voting for that presentation we just had, correct? Okay, it's not. It's for the LCAP, all right.
Yeah, that was the presentation.
Perfect. All right, let me start over then. 2.1's done, thank you very much. 3.1 is to approve the Glendora Unified School District Local Control and Accountability Plan, also known as the LCAP, for the 2026-2027 school year. Dr. DeGrazia.
Yes, this refers to the presentation from Monday evening. We bring it back after much thought and consideration and work with parents, students, and staff.
Thank you very much. I will bring that back to the board. Is there any further discussion on the LCAP?
I do have a couple of questions that I just wanted some clarification. If you don't mind, I'll have to go through I just wanna make sure that I'm reading this right. The reflections for the annual performance. it says that the district did not meet the goal of 65% met or exceeded on both ELA or math.
That's referring to the 3-year goal, which is intended for the end of this year. It was a comment on the fact that we have not yet met our final goals. We're working towards those in the next year.
So we don't have like goals for like the first year, second year, it's just a 3-year goal. So the hope is that by the end of the 3rd year, which is next academic year, we will have met those goals. Okay, that's why I said clarification. Because the way it reads, it seems like, yikes, we didn't meet. And then I had a question about, I'll find it here, the school safety and the dollars allotted for that. There was, this is, how many pages? Just for perspective.
I think about 80, if I remember accurately.
Okay, here it is. Okay, one for like innovative programs, it says, maintain our state-of-the-art programs offered to all students, example, VAPA, STEAM, dual immersion, pilot, Spartan Garden, and ensure that all curriculum adoptions are aligned with the state, and we're allotting $495,313. But this doesn't include staffing, correct?
Not all of it, and actually I will defer to Araceli, our fiscal expert, who helps us budget for this.
That's on page 25 of it.
110 is the innovative programs, yeah. Although it will be 19 in the next fiscal year, Araceli. And I can answer right off the top, some of that is not included, certainly because our art teachers, which are included in there, are funded through Prep 28. Our STEAM teacher, Mrs. Hogan, is funded by GEF, the Ed Foundation. So no, not all of the staffing is included in there because they're outside funding sources.
So I guess that's my question. Those things are not included because we have an alternate funding source. So what is included in that 400 and something thousand dollars?
I do believe,
I can hear you.
All right, so 1.9. So for the 26-27 school year, it is just LCAP. There aren't any other funding sources. So it does include the dual language teachers and some of the bilingual aides. It's not all of them. Would you like to know how much staff and?
No, you
Okay.
could send it to me later. I
Okay.
just kind of wanted to know because it is a big number. Like,
Yes.
what exactly are we allocating that money for? I see the list of, the VAPA, the STEAM and all that, but what exactly? Since I know
Yeah.
that there is alternate funding for that, what is it that alternate funding is not taking care of that we're allotting the almost $500,000 for?
Yeah, majority of it is salaries. It's our teachers and our bilingual aides. So 465,000 of it is just salaries and benefits.
Okay. And is that because their salary is directly attached to the funding, LCFF, like the LCAP plan?
So yes, that action is for, and Jen, I'll defer to you for that, for the innovative program, which includes the language piece.
so when we, some of our funding for LCAP is directly in there. However, you could have programs such as art where the instructional aides are paid out of LCAP, but the teachers are paid out of Prop 28. And for example, STEAM, part of our STEAM aides are paid out of LCAP, but the other part of them is funded by GEF. So we do a lot of mixing and matching to maximize our dollars. And, but the DLI, our dual language teachers, are directly out of that LCAP goal.
Okay, and you could probably stay up there because this is also a money issue. This would be under, measuring and reporting, goal 3, action 3, 3.3. family and community voice. The district will maintain opportunities for family voice and input through opportunities such as DLAC, the Superintendent's Parent Advisory Committee, and surveys. But we're allotting $20,000. So what does that pay for? Is that mainly
It's
for the
Panorama,
surveys?
it's for the surveys.
The survey, okay, so that's pricey. Okay, and then the other one that I had was on the safety, and I'm still trying to find it. I know I highlighted it for a reason. Which goal is it four? Four, right? Well, maybe you can answer it. I know I remember seeing 800 and something thousand dollars.
Correct.
I can't find it here, but I know it was in the 800s. Can you tell me what does that include?
Yes, so that includes our campus safety associates at the middles and high schools, includes the 2 SROs and the crossing guards. And I think
Because we also split that with the city, correct? Do we split it, or is it a different,
well,
not a split, direct split?
we don't. And then our piece of the cost, we were at some point, but the portion that the district now is responsible has been increasing.
Okay.
And every year it's gonna increase until we're fully paying for it.
Okay.
And that's for the second SRO. The first SRO, we fund fully at 100%. And then the second one, we started it at 50%. So every year, it's like a step, sliding scale where it increases.
Is the idea that eventually we're gonna pay for the whole thing?
Correct.
Okay. So this is just a temporary support from the city, not necessarily a long-term thing?
Yes.
Is this something that we're gonna consider going back to them and asking them to reconsider at some point?
Yes, because we have our 2-year pilot program for the MOU. So we're
Okay,
doing a
after the
1-year
2-year.
extensions just to we're not there yet as far as finalizing. So by the end of this year, 26, 27, we should be able to, we are going to look at everything and go back to the table for any changes.
Okay, and then since I have you here, is this is the one I'm looking at, is this for the first year of the LCAP and then the second year, and this is the total?
I can't even see that small. And Mrs. Araceli, they're on the tables. Do you want to come
Sure.
look at the tables?
I'm over here.
Glasses.
Welcome. See these different columns? Right, and so, trying to look, total personnel, total non-personnel, LCFF, so what is like the breakdown here? Here.
Sorry. So when we complete these tables, so we have to account for all the expenditures in the LCAP. And some of it is going to be salaries and some of it is not.
Okay.
And so that's where the non-personnel comes into place versus the personnel. And the LCFF column is the total of the of the LCFF. So this is, I don't recall if that was a non-personnel. Yes, so this is gonna be the non-personnel, this is gonna be the personnel, and then these two amounts equal this, which is the total LCFF funds, which is what's in the LCAP.
So for Safe Schools non-personnel, what would that include?
The non-personnel would be the SROs, the crossing guard.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, thank you. All right, that's all I have, thank you for clarifying.
Okay, any further questions? I'll bring it back then to the board. So we have the report, we have discussion. Now may I have a motion?
All motion.
There's a motion for approval. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Okay, that passes 3-0. Excuse me. The next item is to approve the 2025-2026 estimated actuals and the final budget for 2026-2027. The full GUSD budget report can be accessed for review for those who want to look at it on our website. Dr. DeGrazia.
Yes, this refers to the presentation you saw and heard on Monday evening from Mrs. Walzak and Mrs. Medina about the upcoming year's budget.
Okay, bring it back to the board. Any further questions on that? No questions? Okay, is there a motion?
I'll motion.
There's a motion. Is there a second? A motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Is there any opposition? Thank you very much. Is there any further board business, any staff or executive management or superintendent things? Any other trustee comments? It is 7:24. Our meeting is adjourned. Thank you. Very nice.